The Knicks played their first regular season game on October 25th against the Boston Celtics. Now, we saw a very small preview of that with the New York Knicks taking on the Boston Celtics yesterday and beating them. But one of the things we saw as well is Evan Fournier actually getting playing time. And this is actually coming off of recent comments that he made where he said he wanted to help the team. We're going to break down his candid comments and see exactly what he said and see if that actually played a part in him getting some playing time under Tom Thibodeau yesterday. We're also going to look at Quentin Grimes as he explains exactly what he did during the offseason with JJ Redick and why that was important to him. We're going to look into this and so much more today. Let's get started. Evan Fournier stated that he wants to help the team. Now, this is nothing new from Evan Fournier, because if you go back to the article that he had, where he basically said he felt like a hostage, in that same article, he also stated he still wants to play, he loves New York, but he just wants to play because he knows he's a good basketball player and he knows he can help the team. Well, he's basically doubling down on that again when he was interviewed during the locker room after training camp. And he basically said the following to reporters about wanting to play for the New York Knicks. I gotta warn you, he was very candid in his comments with interviewers. Go ahead, roll the clip.
But do you understand even that the value of your contract is a valuable chip for them?
To be honest, guys, I might be like dreaming of stuff, but to me, I can help the team.
Yeah.
Like I'm a good player. I can fucking play.
Sure.
You know,
Yeah.
I bring stuff that this team doesn't have too. So I have hope to play. To be honest, I have hope to play. Maybe I'm crazy. I don't know. Maybe Thibs made up his mind and stuff. But my role is to put him in a position where he has to think about playing me. You know, I'm gonna treat every practice and every opportunity I have like it's the last, and you know, we'll take it from here. But that's honestly how I attack it.
I can effing play. That was Evan Fournier's comments about play. I can effing play. I can help this team. That was Evan Fournier's response when asked about his role with the New York Knicks. And he said maybe he's dreaming. And obviously a lot of people think that because if you saw what happened last year, he didn't really play much at all. So because of that, of course people are think he's dreaming or a little bit crazy to think he would get consistent playing time under Tom Thibodeau. But then, if you look what happened last night against the Boston Celtics, Tom Thibodeau inserted him into the game and played him. But I have a little bit of a theory on that. I believe Tom Thibodeau did that because he knows he has to increase Evan Fournier's value in order to move him. I think Fournier does not want to be on the New York Knicks. I think Tom Thibodeau knows he doesn't want to be on the Knicks, and he probably doesn't want him on the Knicks as well too. Doesn't want that toxicity in the locker room. So I think it would help everybody if they moved on from each other, right? So I think one of the ways to do that is to actually play Evan Fournier so other teams can see what he can do, see his ability, and say, you know what? Maybe I do want to trade for that player. So maybe that's what's happening. But I was very, very shocked to see him play minutes under Tom Thibodeau, regardless if the game mattered, regardless if it's preseason. I was still shocked to see him on the floor in a New York Knicks jersey, shooting threes, playing with the team, playing with the roster, getting a really nice pass from Dante DiVincenzo. It actually surprised me. He's not wrong in terms of what he's saying for adding value to the team because the New York Knicks do need more shooting and need more three-point shooting. And Evan Fournier, regardless of what you want to say about his defense, what he's supposed to do well is shoot the three ball. Now, last year, he was pretty decent at shooting the three ball. He wasn't great by any stretch of the means. But consistently over his career, he's a pretty good three-point shooter. And the Knicks need consistent three-point shooters. So I actually do agree with what he said. The problem is there are other players on the New York Knicks team that I would rather see play in front of him. And because of that, and because I know that, I'm sure Thibs knows that as well too. So because of all those factors, I don't see him getting any significant, meaningful, key playing time in games next season. Maybe he gets some garbage time if the Knicks are blowing out teams. But apart from that, I don't really see him getting any type of playing time with this New York Knicks team. He'll have to be traded to see any significant time. Whether or not that happens before the trade deadline, I don't know. But the Knicks are definitely, at least at this point, to me, trying to increase Fournier's value, trying to showcase what he can do right now, because it's likely they can only do it now, because later on, especially when they get to the regular season, I doubt Fournier sees any significant minutes at all. Quentin Grimes explained his workouts with JJ Redick recently in an interview. So if you've been following Quentin Grimes and what he's been doing this offseason, you've obviously seen him working out with different NBA legends, JJ Redick being one of them. And in an interview recently after training camp, he was basically asked about what he was doing with JJ Redick and why he was working out with him. And he gave the following response. Roll the clip.
Did you initiate it?
Yeah, I just knew I had kind of reached out to him. I knew coming into the season what my role would be. And Thibs and my guy Aaron, they talking about the shots I would be getting this season. So I know JJ Redick was one of the best shooters ever in his league. His conditioning was otherworldly and stuff like that. So I would try to get in the gym with him, learn little things, how he's coming off screen, pin downs. I knew that was going to be some of the plays that were going to be running for me this season. So I want to be prepared for whenever I get my number called.
I can't say it enough, guys. I love seeing the young boys work with greats in the NBA at the things they need help with. Quentin Grimes needed a more consistent, lethal three-point shot. JJ Redick was lethal, an assassin at the three-point line when he was playing in the NBA. For him to work out with Grimes means a lot. Obviously, they worked on his footwork. Grimes said he worked with JJ regarding how to come off screens a little bit better, and obviously how to make those shots work off of screens a little bit better, because he stated, and this is also a very interesting part, that in terms of the plays that are going to be run for him this season, it's going to be similar to those plays that JJ had run for him. And I think that's very interesting to note. Not only because Quentin Grimes is saying that he's going to have plays actually ran for him by the coaching staff, because I think that's very important, but the fact is he's trying to get more JJ Redick type of looks in game says a lot. Because if Grimes can be our JJ Redick with a more aggressive drive in the paint and being able to finish at the rim, this Knicks team, and I think I say it a lot, but I have to say it a lot, because if those improvements happen, the Knicks are taking a leap to become a very dangerous team in the Eastern Conference. And everybody has to know that, because if these things happen, and they happen consistently, game after game after game, the Knicks are going to be one of the hardest outs in the playoffs for any team they face. Mark my words on that. This team looks a little bit more focused. I like Julius Randle's attitude. I like RJ Barrett's attitude. He looks a little bit more confident and comfortable out there. And what I saw from Quentin Grimes yesterday, even though his shots weren't falling and he didn't have his offense going right away, he looked a little bit more comfortable. He looked just a little bit more aggressive. And obviously, and it doesn't hurt to say it, his defense is still tenacious. It's still there. And I really love to see it. But let me know what you guys thought about what Evan Fournier and Quentin Grimes said in their respective interviews after camp. Do you agree with their comments? Do you disagree? Do you like what they said? Let me know, because honestly, guys, I would love to hear from you. But that's going to do it for this episode. I hope you enjoyed it. If you did, please go ahead and smash that like button, leave a comment below, and of course, guys, please subscribe to the channel. Until next time, Knicks fans. Peace.